Check, test, 1, 2. Check, test, 1, 2. Ooh, that's not good. Let's see. Hey, Rudy. Welcome. Good to see you. All right. I had a ball this morning playing with your stuff. Playing in your toy box. Absolutely, yes. Yep. You're disappearing into darkness. That's somewhat better. Yeah, if you can make the brick wall most of your background, that'll help. Just swing your camera to your right. Yeah, there you go. Backlighting is always the pits. Let's see here. Okay, yes. Good. It's nice to have your phone remind you that you're supposed to be on a show this afternoon. If you could, tilt your camera a little down, which will raise you up on the camera. It's almost to the point where the top of your head is hitting the top of the frame, if you can see your own image there. Yeah, because I've got a lower third across you like that, and so I don't want it to cut off your chin. Okay, and then let's see, let's play with this. Okay, yeah, because we've got this shot here, and I want to get you framed up just right in it. Let's see, that's that one right there. So we want to take some of that off there, and let's make it just a little bit smaller. Try to make us about the same size. CNN and Fox make all this look so easy. They don't show you what goes on in the background to make things work. Let's see. Now, where are you today? Orlando, that's right. Okay. Oh, golly. Well, you guys have been through the ringer then. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I've got family in St. Pete, and okay. And I think between that and the alligator thing, um, that was the pits. Okay. I have got an adjustable chair, and I have to remember to get it adjusted so that it doesn't move around too much, or otherwise I'll be swinging and dancing during the show. And I've already noticed that you've dropped down about 2 inches. Um, yep, yep. Yeah, what we want to do is get you and I with the tops of our heads almost to the tops of the frame. Um, and I can adjust it a little bit on my end, but I can only do with what it is you send me. Let's see. Of course, the way I'm doing this may not be the best, but it's like anything else in life, it just it's kind of the way it worked out. Okay, let's take a little more off the top. Good deal. Now, on a technical aspect, I am sending 4 feeds, including the Joycaster feed today. So I'm sending you guys one. I'm doing the Joycaster feed, which is really a YouTube feed. I'm doing a YouTube feed. I'm doing a Decast 720 feed, and I'm doing a Decast 180 feed. The 720 is a flash feed from Decast, and the 180 is a HTML5 feed from Decast. The HTML5 feed is not working. And I don't know if that's on Decast's end or if for you guys, yes. Right, and I probably shouldn't have because Decast may be trying to re-encode what you guys have already encoded, and that's where it bombs out. Okay. 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 That's cool. Okay. Well, that was pretty easy. Hey guys, good to see you. Oh, that's right. Seahawks fan. All right. Seahawks fan in Orlando? Well, even then. Okay. Everybody can be anything today. Okay. Okay, folks in the chat room are telling me they can't hear you, so let me work on that a little bit. Why can't they hear you? Okay, let's see if that's better.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, let me pull that setting up as well. So when I use the chat, how do I, is it auto scroll? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, I see.
Okay, echo from Tom. That's not good.
Can't hear Skype. A lip reading competition. That's funny.
Those guys.
So I'm fine and you're echoing. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. Let's try some here. Check 1, 2. Rudy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you're just hearing me once, right?
Correct. No echo at all.
Okay. Well, at least we didn't make it worse. You got to look out for these guys in the chat room.
Is Tom sound looping? Yeah, Rudy. Echo. Easy fixes. Tom says nothing for the rest of the show. That is funny.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be
these
much of a
guys.
show, would it?
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to reset again. Just a minute. Check. Yep, I bet that didn't fix it.
Can you hear me fine, Tom?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think folks at home can hear you fine too. I just need to figure out where we're getting this second audio from me. Check. 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 All right.
Hey, let me try this.
Rudy, can you hear me okay?
Microphone. Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Rudy, do you hear me?
I wanted to make sure that my web camera wasn't
Rudy. Rudy.
causing any issue. It looks fine.
Okay, Rudy can't hear me. Rudy, can you hear me? Rudy, can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but your video froze. Both our videos froze, but I can hear you fine.
Can you hear me now? Check 1, 2. Okay, you couldn't hear that. Okay. Check. Okay, there's his right there. What about this?
Yes.
Rudy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Folks at home, can you hear an echo? I don't think you can. I think we got it. Okay.
By the way, what chatting platform is this? Chatwing? Is that what you're using?
Chatwing, yes.
Okay.
Chatwing. And, you know, Rudy, I'm a path of least resistance guy. This was the easiest one for me to figure out. Okay, we are still in pre-show. In case anybody is confused, Rudy Ellis, the CEO of Switchboard.live, who is the inventor of Joycaster. Got some great. Oh, was that Joy just a minute ago?
Pardon me?
Was that you had two children behind you?
Correct. That's Kayla. Kayla's middle name is Joy. Yep.
Is okay. Good. I didn't want to give the story away, but I just wanted to put the pieces together.
Yeah. I forgot I even shared that with you, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay. What I want to do, and we've got a few minutes here still in the pre-show, is to basically go through, where you came from, how you got into video, how you got into streaming, where Joycaster came from, the switch to Switchboard, and and looking ahead to the future. This audience right here is, we're going to have a couple dozen folks live, and then, I don't know, 1,000 people over YouTube over the next month or so. It just sort of depends on how popular you are, actually. Most of them don't care about me. So most of the folks that are viewing are people that are interested in live streaming. They're either doing it for their church, or they're doing a talk show, or they're doing sports, or they're doing something either in a studio environment or a remote venue environment. But they're mostly all streamers.
Got it.
So, there are some parts of what you're doing that will not apply to us at all, and certainly you're welcome to mention those. But the audience is really going to be interested in, probably the Joycaster feature, and then, if you can tempt us or tease us with, as we grow up, we're going to be able to take advantage of these new features that are coming from Switchboard. That would be a good place to it too. Okay, let's see. Got to keep up with the chat room here, because if you let these guys get away from you, they'll just take off. So Merle is here. Merle has got a great streaming setup. Tommy says we love you, Tom. What's Tom's last? Okay, got it. All right.
Hey Tom, should the video in Zoom, should that be moving or not? I don't see myself anymore. I see myself in the preview window, but in the the Zoom app, both of our pictures are frozen. If it's fine, that's fine. I can hear you perfectly. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we are broadcasting just fine. I don't know why Zoom is not cooperating with you.
Okay, that's good. I just want to make sure, as long as people can see video.
Yeah, that is frozen. Sure is. It probably is just remembering. Let me stop your video for just a second, and then we'll restart it and see if maybe that doesn't clear it up. Are you seeing color bars?
Hang on there. I do see color bars now. Yeah.
Okay, that should clear itself up in just a second. And there we go.
There we go.
Okay. Good. Good. Very good. What, any questions for me before we get rolling, either about the format or about these crazies in the chat room or anything?
No, I mean, I think we've chatted on and off, for a good while. So I think I'm pretty good with what you do and what type of content you like to create and put out there for people in the space. So no, I think I'm good. I mean, other than, hey, I hope you had a good day so far.
Well, it's funny. A show day is always sort of an interesting day. Sometimes it can be really, what's the best way to put it? Really calm,
Hmm.
and other days it can be just really confusing.
Got it.
Like for example, right now I'm trying to adjust this, and it's not
I
wanting
think
to
I
work.
want to try something. I want to switch my camera because I have an external camera, then I also have my Mac camera,
Okay,
and me looking down because I see the video, it's a little awkward. So let me see if this one
okay.
is even better. So it looks a little. I don't know. Does that help you out any? It's kind of
Yeah,
zoomed in.
we can work with that. Let's see.
So that way, I'm looking at my computer now versus
Right,
looking up. That's what I was doing before.
right. Okay, okay. Well, let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, you have great lighting in your studio. I wish I don't have it here. I wonder if I can open this a little bit. One sec.
All right, now, where is that image? Right there.
Hopefully they'll make it a little better.
No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Got it. Got it. All right. Let's see what the guys are saying now. We've got folks, actually, Rudy, we've got folks that are watching from all over the world.
Really? Awesome.
Yes. There's a foreign country up in the northern part called Pennsylvania. We've got somebody watching from Pennsylvania. That's Paul Richards with PTZ Optics.
It's Paul. Hey, Paul, how's it going, man?
And then we've got Tommy, who is about, I don't know, 100 miles up the road from me in Alabama. Martin S. is down in, I think Martin's in the Barbados.
Oh, wow.
Or it
Awesome.
may be Jamaica. I get those two confused. Step Back in Time TV is Giles. He's in England. Jerry is somewhere in the U.S. Rotimi, I think, is somewhere in the Caribbean. Blaze is in Spain. Chris Watts is in England. Bill is in Texas. Rich, where is Rich? Where are you from? I forget. Somewhere in the Midwest, I think. Merle is in the Midwest, I think. John, oh golly, I know I'm going to be tested on this later, and I'm failing miserably.
I think
Martin
it's pretty
Kay, I know, is in
fascinating.
England.
People that participate in the show, where they're from. That's
Well,
amazing.
these are the same crazies that show up every week. I mean, they're just like to torture me. Um, so we did we did a show. I guess it was last week, and I actually had my dog on the show for part of the NDI, the network device interface. You've heard about this from New Tech.
For New
And
Tech, yeah.
and there are companies out there that are saying, "Hey, we've got an NDI compatible product," when really they took their product and they took a piece of software that New Tech gives away for free, and they said, "Oh, see, our product will connect to their software." Well, that's not making it an NDI. Making it an NDI would be to embed the NDI software into it, so that all you have to do is take an Ethernet cable and plug whatever the device is into the internet, and
Got it.
now you have something that's truly NDI compatible. So I was spoofing Panasonic and some of the others for saying that they were NDI compatible when they really weren't. And I said, my Jack Russell Terrier is NDI compatible. So I brought him in. He had a leash with a little webcam around his collar, and so everybody got to see it. And it just, I have really low tolerance for companies that want to try to deceive by not telling the whole truth, and just saying, here's just a portion of it, so kind of we can say we are this when really they're not. Just tell the truth.
Yeah,
People can deal much better with truth than they can with a bunch of PR fluff
I
that
agree.
is not necessarily accurate. It may be true, but it may not be truth. There's a big
Yep.
difference between the two. So,
Oh, I gotcha.
so yeah, and I generally have some lemonade with me during the show, and so the guys were teasing me saying that NDI compatible was a anytime we say, yep, see, Rudy can do it. Anytime you say that, you got a drink, and so I
Yeah,
had lemonade coming
have
out.
some water left over from lunch.
Yeah, there we go. So that's some of the backstory on that.
Got it.
And Tommy House is right up the road in Montgomery, Alabama, and he's just trying to start a fight right there. What is NDI?
So
Oh
did
my
you hear
God.
that beeping? That beeping sound is actually coming from the dashboard. What
Yes.
what that means is that someone has entered the live stream and viewing it. You can actually turn that off. There's a button, I believe, that says audible alerts. If you check that, that will turn that off.
Oh, well, let's leave it on. I didn't know
Okay.
what it was. It's been beeping all morning.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. So that's the indicator to let you know. So like if you're doing a broadcast and you want to make sure someone pops in, you'll hear that audible alert.
Okay.
But
Okay.
because it's coming out of your computer speaker, I can hear it as well.
Right. Okay, well, that I had meant to ask you that, and I couldn't tell whether it was something that chimed every 45 seconds. It seemed to be kind of regular, but it wasn't exactly regular. So that's just somebody's. Now, does that mean somebody popped into the Joycaster feed or any one of the feeds?
The chat, the chat. So the chat. So they're
The
probably,
chat.
yeah.
I didn't enable the chat, I don't think.
You didn't enable the chat?
Let's see.
Actually, there's two. So one is for the chat, and the one means you have a viewer on the actual channel. So in the dashboard for probably for YouTube, that's probably where it's alerting you.
Okay.
With the other from RTMP, you see that icon that shows a little kind of like silhouette of a person.
Yep.
I'll let you know how many people are watching live via YouTube.
Okay.
And I believe that counter goes up every time someone pops in. So it should have went up.
Okay, the counter says 21 right now, which matches the number of folks that are in the chat wing chat room.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and let me just let me put some URLs here into, well, for anybody that's watching right now, if you want to play around with this, go on the Eastern Shore Broadcasting .com website. If you go to Watch Now, it'll do a drop down box, and there are four different choices in there. One of them is Watch Now YouTube. One of them is Watch Now Joycaster. One of them is Watch Now Decast 720, and one of them is Watch Now Decast 180. The Decast 180 one doesn't seem to be working. I threw this together, and I should have taken more time with it, and had time for troubleshooting, but I didn't. So that one's not working. At least it wasn't. Yeah, it's still not working. But take a look at the others. It's really interesting to see. I mean, the quality is spot on all three of them, and all three of them, two of them are YouTube. I guess Rudy, the Joycaster feed, the Joycaster embed is essentially a YouTube embed, right?
Actually, it's Dailymotion. It feeds to Dailymotion.
Okay.
Which is fine. Yeah, it should be. If you click on the, there's like an icon, like an eye icon, that will take you to the actual stream. It should be.
Well, Dailymotion's got a YouTube icon on on their
Or
screen.
maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Oh, hang on one second. I forgot that this room has automatic lights. I'm glad we could take care of it now before.
Okay, no problem. That's good. I probably shouldn't have said anything to him. Gee, I don't want to embarrass the guy on, when he's a guest on your show. Don't throw away your Panasonic stuff. Really. Just send it to me. We're still in pre-show, guys. If you're just now showing up, don't worry. We're still in pre-show. You haven't missed anything. All right, who have I missed that's slipped in? Andrew S. Which Andrew S. is that? I got to know. Mike is here. Mike, this is all your fault. Henri is here. John Kraft is here. Tommy House is here. Merle, Martin K, welcome. And looks like a good show. Tommy's getting rid of his 15-year-old Panasonic VCR in protest. Yeah, that's great. I love it. Okay, so Rudy's got his automatic lights set, so we're good there. And
the old Post-it note over the sensor works.
Gotcha. Yeah, low tech to fix high tech. I got it. I got it. Let's see. Let me fix one more thing here, and we'll get this show kicked off. Let me just show you guys what I'm fixing so you can see. Obviously, I need to do some adjustments to my cropping here.
How about I can move? Would that work or not?
Oh, it's the window. That's right. It's the window over your left shoulder that made me look like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Then that one's okay. That one's all right. Let's see. Let's do one little thing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that'll work. Okie dokie. Well, what we're going to do, Rudy, is we'll go back to do the show intro. I'll have a brief monologue, and then I'll introduce you, and then we'll just dive in and chat. And, fortunately, since this is a virtual audience, if they throw anything, they have to clean it up later.
That's awesome.
It doesn't get on us, so we're good.
All right.
Mike says he's got some buffering. Mike, what feed are you watching that you've got buffering in? Looks like most everybody is still in the YouTube. All right, so YouTube just froze for Tommy. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it looks like it froze here too. Let's restart it. And It's all right on that one. Yeah. So you can see, obviously I need to do some adjustments to my cropping here. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a little bit of buffering on the YouTube feeds. Let's see how the decast feed is doing.
I'm going to pull it up as well.
Okay. Yeah, decast seems to be good. For anybody that's watching, yeah, Tommy says he's getting buffering on the Joycaster in the YouTube feed, and the 720 is good. Merle is right. The 720 is good. 720 is decast. Let's see if we can put the...
Looks good on my YouTube. That's interesting.
Well, and we can hear you in the background on the decast feed.
I gotta close that. I'll hear myself
Yep.
through your computer and through my computer.
Okay. And let's see what that looks like right there. Okay. And I've got to do two things real quickly here. Let's do that. And I've got a desk over here. I'll show you that I have to throw a green screen over that to get that out of the shot. So let me go do that real quickly, and then we'll be ready to go. This is Tommy in Alabama's favorite part right here.
So I love the high. Oh my goodness!
The newscasters, especially the ones down in the Orlando area, when they get on the news, you see they got coat and tie on the top part, but then they'll be wearing shorts on the bottom part, because that part never shows.
I guess I didn't fix the lighting. I did. Ah!
Let's see how we did there. That works pretty well. Okay. Okay. And looks like all the buffering has cleared itself up. That's good. Rudy is connected to me, Chris, by Zoom, zoom.us. At least in my little part of the world, I get consistently higher resolution with Zoom than I do with Skype. Okay. Rudy, I'm going to drop your audio on this end for just a minute. And hopefully, if I'm smart, I'll remember to enable it when we get back on the other side. So let's see, which one is you? Would you just talk for just a second?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Got him. All right, we nailed him. All right, he's out. So let's get queued up here, and we'll be ready to roll in about 5 seconds, maybe a 6. Sit tight, everybody, just a second. Almost there. Be patient. Okay. All right, I think we're ready here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome. Welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. Welcome to Streaming Idiots, where every week, yes, we prove that we are indeed idiots. And by when I say we, I really mean me. I'm not including you in this. I am so stoked. That's part of the reason why I was chuckling. I'm really excited about our guest today, and I'm going to introduce him to you in just a second. But today I got introduced to some new technology. And that new technology is something that allows me to send one stream out and have it automatically redistributed to multiple CDNs. That is, I don't have to have a ton of bandwidth to send to YouTube and to Cast again and Daily Motion and Stream Up and a bunch of different CDNs. If that's the way I want to manage what I'm doing, I can send one and have it sent and redistributed for me. There's an outfit out there that used to be known as Joycaster, Joicaster, that will do that. Now, some parts of it are free. I know you like free. So you can send a stream to them and they'll restream it to a certain number of kind of in-house CDNs for nothing or next to nothing. Or if you've got paid CDNs, like I used to Cast, they have a paid service where you can do that. So think about it. I can send that, let's say I want to send a 1080 feed to Cast, but I know not everybody can watch 1080. So I'm going to ask them to take that 1080 and send it 1080, but then they can send another one 720. Then they send another one 480, then send another one 180. So we've got, all of a sudden, we've got 4 different available streams from one stream. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. And we happen to have the creator of that with us today. And if I don't screw it up, we'll have to get him right. I got to make sure I got to turn his microphone on, because if I don't do that, we'll never ever hear him. But with us today is Rudy Ellis, the CEO of Switchboard Live. Rudy, welcome. Do I have you
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, there he is. We got him. All right. Welcome. So glad to have you on the show. Now, Rudy's been with me for a few minutes already this morning, and we've been chatting, and he's been helping me understand how his software works. But Rudy, let's back up from that even and tell me, where were you when you had this great idea that became Joycaster? I mean, what were you doing? Where'd you come from?
Sure. So I worked at companies, New Lion, XOS Digital, and I worked in the streaming services department. Oh, I guess I didn't fix the light. Well, we'll let it ride. Sorry about that. Streaming services department. And our responsibility was making sure, oh my goodness, let me know if that any better. Our responsibility was making sure that all the live streams for all the clients, went off without a hitch. Make sure that their encoders were configured, the data center, just all of that was, kind of under my responsibility. And one of our clients actually said, hey, is there a way to send a stream to our current athletic website as well as our conference website at the same time? And that was something where it was interesting, because I could see the need for that, not having to have an additional encoder, another piece of hardware or software encoder, another body, just being able to do that. And so that kind of sparked the idea for creating a tool that could do that. And so we actually did that for an entire year, kind of just this hodgepodge kind of solution we threw together, and it worked out really well. And really the idea to take this to the forefront came around just thinking, you know what, this would be great, not only in the sports arena, but for anyone that has live content that they want to get out and, grow their audience, get more people to watch. And so that's where the idea of Joycaster really stemmed from, being able to take your piece of content and extend it, that wherever it may need to go.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So of course you told these people when they came to you, oh yeah, no problem, we can do that. And then you had to go figure out how to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, I definitely could figure out a way to make that happen. And, and so really creating this workflow that took about 5 minutes of time before each live stream to make it happen was something that, I thought was a need that for it to, to get resolved. And so, yeah, of course, being an entrepreneur, being in that startup space, you want to say, yeah, you can do that. And so it worked out well. But the challenge was now taking that to for a consumer use and figuring out how to make that happen. So that's when going in, building a team, that was the next step.
Gotcha. And that's when Joycaster came out?
So, well, no, there's a lot of steps between that, kind of proof of rudimentary concept to where Joycaster. So, guys I used to work with at XOS Digital, Josh Sachs and Jason Cotty, both are co-founders of Joycaster, kind of pitched them on this notion of, hey, here's this idea. What do you think? And Josh actually kind of molded over for a little bit and came back and said, you know what, this actually is a good idea. I'd like to be a part of that. And honestly, my goal was for him to recommend some people. But the ulterior motive was really to get him on board because I validated what he does. I believe in what his coding capabilities. And so once he was on board and Jason came on board, those were kind of like the three core people that we needed to kind of at least get the idea. And then we had a couple of key hires as well after that with our lead developer, Matthew Shapiro, joined shortly after. And really, Joycaster, its idea or it's being launched was in August of 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
August of 2014.
That's less than 2 years ago.
Yeah, we went through a accelerator here in Orlando called Starter Studio. So, it was a great opportunity to learn a heck of a lot in a short period of time, coming from kind of a corporate 9-to-5 gig and understanding all the nuances of starting a company and growing and figuring out what to work on, what are priorities, et cetera, et cetera. So that helped us out a lot as well.
I bet. So will you ever go back to corporate life?
If we can if we can avoid that, that's the goal, right? The goal is to really, to take Switchboard to the next level and keep pushing forward. And I think we're on a good path, a good trajectory to do that. Okay. So to answer your question, no.
No, right. Yeah. Okay. Folks, I can tell he's our kind of people. He's our kind of people. Yeah. All right. So you skipped ahead a little bit to Switchboard, but so Joycaster was sort of officially founded in August of 2014. So not last summer, but the summer before.
August 2014. So I'll kind of give you some quick story behind that. So we went through, we had the idea, hey, Josh, Jason, here's the idea, and Matt, let's get this idea of these scripts that we put together and let's put an interface on it, right? And so that was our goal is to take it from, let's say, March of 2014 with the goal of having something for our demo day, which was in August. And so that's what we worked towards. And the awesome thing about that is September of 2014, we wind up having our very, very first gig. That was with a Dick Clark produced event called the Streamy Award Show, where it was a perfect platform for what we do to really be on display, where we took one source stream and syndicated it to 10 different YouTube channels, Snappy TV, believe it or not, MySpace was alive back then from a live perspective. And that went off without a hitch. And they were just amazed at the ability from a technical standpoint to really be able to go to all those platforms by a push of one button. And so that was really a good validation of what we're building was key. And it was obviously good to have a brand like Dick Clark and the streamers behind our belt as a good use case as well.
Oh yeah. So you guys just stepped up to the plate first time at bat and just knocked it out of the park.
It's just, a good opportunity, good relationship. Recommendation was made and we had an opportunity and we capitalized and we pulled it off, which was awesome. It's not something I could have done myself. It was a total team effort to make that happen.
Right. Awesome. And so Joycaster was born and with a flourish.
Yes. So that was August, September-ish of 2014. And so from that point, our goal was really to focus on other events, other conferences, really because we created this tech to help with a technical delivery, being able to take feed from a source encoder and syndicate it out, was look for events that really had the number one goal of maximizing their eyeballs. I have an event and I just want maximum exposure. How can I do that? And so that's what, with using the streamies as an example, that was our goal, is identifying events that had that requirement and pushing forth with that. And so we've done stuff with Monster Energy, with TEDx, with Playlist Live, where there were events where their main goal is getting their live content out in the world and maximize the amount of viewership.
Cool. All right, we're already getting questions in the chat room. So at some point, and you're doing all this for free.
Yeah. So let me think back. So I got to refresh my memory. We started out with a kind of a pay to play model, right? Okay. So we did that, and there was a free element in place. But again, we're learning a heck of a lot as we're building it, right? So, those are the things that we were able to glean from the Starter Studio scale up program. The Starter Studio accelerator program we went through. Right. And actually from that, we went through another local accelerator program here in Orlando to kind of help us take the business to the next level. But while we're doing, all of that, we did have a kind of a pay to use our service early on, which was great to see people sign up and pay as well.
Sure.
Because that just, again, validated the need for the platform. And not without skipping ahead, we wind up, kind of having, like you said, a free service, but we learned a lot from that period. And over the next, that was August of 2014, 2015. So probably the summer of 2015, 12 months has elapsed. We learned a great deal about the business, what we can do. And so we actually joined our third accelerator. Now this one is an accelerator called Techstars. Techstars is a globally known accelerator throughout the world. Very, very high acceptance rate. Very, very low acceptance rate, but a really high caliber type of accelerator. So the whole team, we moved out to San Antonio for 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
And so we went heads down and to really focus on growing the business, focusing on the value of what we built. And part of this exercise from November to February, so February of 2016, that's where we were able to identify what the true value is, what we built, and that's where Switchboard was born. We are enabling content creators like yourself to be able to plug into all these different networks, and that's our goal, is to be able to provide an easy way for you to connect, engage, and reach your audience, the target audience.
Wow.
That's it in a nutshell. I know that was probably pretty quick, but yeah, that's
great.
And broadcaster to Switchboard.
And that's so exciting. I guess your family thought you were absolutely nuts. Number one.
Yeah. But they were behind me. All of our families had to be behind us. The fact that we were, we packed up our cars, two cars, and drove out to, San Antonio and had apartments, and, we really, really got to know each other really well, which is good. It created a good bond for the team. We're in it. We all decided to do this, and this is something we want to be a part of. So it was a great opportunity for us to jump in full-time, head first. And that's our goal, is we want to make the best product out there. So, we're passionate, as you can tell. I could probably talk for hours about this. And that's our goal, is to really build the best product in. And that's why I'm super excited about where we are heading and what we're building, because all the knowledge, all the events we've done, we were out 2 weeks in LA doing stuff at E3 for EA and Dell and Alienware. And so the ability to take, 2 years ago what we learned for one event and be able to go to a big event where we're producing, a stream that could be seen over, 500,000 viewers is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty intoxicating. Well, let's go back to Joycaster a minute, because so far that's your first of probably a lot of home runs that you guys are going to hit in the future. But
hopefully, that's the plan.
I want to throw up I guess this is the desktop or the dashboard.
From
my account.
Correct. So this is the Joycaster Connect dashboard, and so what and people watching, what you see right now in the upper left-hand corner, or the kind of pause picture, that's a confidence monitor. So that's the video from your encoder coming into Joycaster platform. On the left-hand side, there are a listing of all the different commonly used destinations that you can select. So you have your YouTube, your Twitch, your Daily Motions, et cetera. They're all listed there. And you have the ability, obviously, to add a bunch more. So we have support for over 30 different types of destinations. So if you did click on that yellow, add destination there, you could see the list of all the different ones that you can add from this pop-up. So we have support for the creator, so someone that's a YouTube or Ustream or Twitch. Then we have the support for kind of the producer. So that's someone that may need a couple other platforms for the distribution. And then depending on the level of producer, you have the ability to add on some of the CDNs, like you're able to push to the cast. You have the ability to support Akamai or Limelight or Level 3 based on those as well. So our goal is really to create this platform that allows content to come in and then be able to go out to all the different destinations that you deem necessary in your syndication and distribution strategy. Specifically, obviously, in the live space. That's our goal. So just like you have in social media, you have Buffer or Hootsuite, where you publish once and disseminate to all. That's really our goal is to be able to do the same concept for live, where I have an event, I want to maximize and connect and engage with my audience. Our platform is the tool to do so.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to go off this screen. I want you to walk me around the rest of the screen, because I was stumbling through this morning.
Sure,
I
no
must
worries.
have done something right, but I don't know that I did everything right.
You did a good job, because I know I said in my email I'll give you a 10-minute once over, and then I looked and you were live, which was awesome. So I'm gonna zoom in a little because it's a little small on my screen. If you see, so the first one is obviously looks like it's your YouTube destination,
right?
And so some of the cool things that you're able to do, because right now you're going to 3 different destinations. So you have the ability to turn off and on destinations, right? So imagine you're at a big conference and it has different segments, and maybe you have the ability where you can offer a sponsored segment and send that content to that sponsor's channel. We enable that ability now, where you can have your mainstream in its continuation, but now you can start and stop that stream to the different destinations. We also have the ability for you to kind of see all your metrics, at least from a viewership standpoint for the platforms that support it right here. So I cannot read that number because it's really small on my screen, but that will 21. Right now, 21. So 21 people on YouTube are actually watching us in the YouTube portal or channel right now. Another really, really cool feature that we have that I think we're going to start talking about more as we start working on more of the marketing and campaigning now is the ability for, so say you wanted to share this broadcast or this webinar with another person or a party. You can actually do what we call a stream share. So you can send someone an email and say, hey, Rudy, or hey, Mike, or hey, Paul, anyone that's in the chat room, would you guys like to carry this live stream? And when they click accept and walk through the quick authorization, now you have the ability to stream to their YouTube channel or Twitch channel, wherever channel that you asked to send to, all from that email. And the cool thing is, it's that the content that you create in the event gets published to that channel. You create the event, you start the event. They don't have to do anything but just promote the event. And that's a real easy way to offer and extend your content to other like-minded individuals that have an affinity to what you're building. And that's something we really receive, great feedback about as well.
That's awesome. Where's that button?
So it's so the way you access that is actually when you're creating one of these profiles. So you created these different destinations.
Yeah.
So I'll walk you through that real quick. If you click on, we'll just do this on the fly.
All
Click
right.
on the YouTube right there, right? Yep. And when that pops up,
I'm sorry. What am I clicking on?
oh, you moved your mouse over. So click on destinations, and then you see right below that the first one, click on YouTube. We'll use this as an example, right?
Okay.
Click on that guy and do add new destination at the bottom.
All right.
And let's just say Rudy's YouTube. Okay, now click next. And then in the lower left-hand corner, see where it says stream share?
Oh, yeah.
So if you click that, so basically you just put in my email. So you put rudy@switchboard.live. And the next box is how long do you want to have access to my channel? So if you left the box empty, as it says, it'll be indefinite. But let's just say, I'm requesting access for a period of time, and then it gives you an option to put in kind of like some brief notes. Hey, Rudy, this is Tom, with their, asking to be able to send to your channel for this event, but you get the picture. So if you click next, and I'm going to actually do this on my end real quick. So what it did, it actually sent me an email that says, Tom wants to stream to your channel. And give me one sec here. I close my email. But what we'll do is we'll actually let you know that your request has been sent to me.
This is too much. Oh my goodness. I am oh wow. Oh man.
Yeah. Now if you were to go back to the dashboard and I click accept, you'll see it probably wouldn't make more sense if it was the other way around, but this will at least give you we can maybe have another follow-up show if there's anything specific about it. But you'll see a little kind of message at the bottom. See in the lower left hand in green?
Yeah.
What does it say? I can't read that. My video.
Says, Rudy's YouTube has been successfully authorized and is ready to use.
Perfect. So now what you can do now, while this stream is going on, you could actually add my YouTube channel to the stream.
In the middle of this stream. Right
of the
now.
Stream.
Live.
Yes, right now, live, and it will start publishing to my YouTube channel.
How?
You want to do it? Okay, so click
Let's
on
do
YouTube
it.
again. Yeah, click on YouTube again. And let's see where YouTube's, so it should show right there.
Right there. It's grayed out.
It's grayed out? Okay, close that window.
You know what? I think it's already hooked up.
What do you mean?
If I go to the Joycaster feed right now, there's an icon in the top right-hand corner that allows me to play this content on your YouTube channel.
Well, no, we just
That's
added
not the same thing.
Yeah, I think this is my personal one. Let's do this. Go to manage. You see in the upper left-hand corner, click on manage.
Yep.
And then go to destinations.
Okay.
And scroll to the bottom. So these are all the ones that I guess I can see you were definitely fooling around. Do me a favor, just hit refresh. For some reason, it doesn't look like it refreshed on your screen. Hit F5. It's pretty odd. Okay, so now that went away. So let's go back to the dashboard. So, and then click on the connect icon at the very top. And now do YouTube. There we go. That was weird. Sometimes it takes a minute to refresh. So just put a check in that box and hit OK. You're safe.
And that's it.
The first phase of what it's going to do is it now added my YouTube channel to the stream. And if you click on the checkbox in between the two icons, now it's publishing. It's going out to my YouTube channel. It's actually creating the event with your metadata that you published. and in 30 seconds or so, it will go from blue to green. And if you click that icon, it will take you to that YouTube channel. So yeah, that's something that we've used in multiple scenarios, at music concerts, at festivals, at events where, you know, bands and band members want their streams to be added to the stream on the fly, and it's worked out really well.
This is amazing. I mean, this allows a show could go virtual through connecting YouTube channel to YouTube channel.
Yeah, and if you think about it, that's the goal is, wow. Now you have other like-minded individuals. They're in a position to now promote that show and say, hey, look what I'm streaming at Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And they can carry that. And for you as the broadcaster, you have an extension of the content you're building. And at the end of the day, all those viewerships in totality, you know, roll back up to you. And so right. Your network or your micro network is now growing. And that's the goal, is if you're putting on great quality content, let's put it where people are already watching it.
Okay. That is super cool. That is really cool. That just, you know, I'm going to be dancing around the house later, and everybody in the family is going to go, what's wrong with him? Because they don't get this stuff. And so anyway, I'll have to call up Tommy up the road in Reeltown, Alabama, and hoot at him. So, okay. But the bottom line is, at some point, you got to get paid.
Yes, that is true.
How do you get paid? Because I know, you know, it's probably just professional courtesy, but I'm not paying you anything today.
Yeah. So
if that's news, I'm really sorry. I mean, just
no. So if you saw one of my emails, we basically put you on a trial account. So we want you to have the ability to, you know, try out all the features that you see fit, and you know, we'd love for you to get your feedback as well, right? Because you're in this space. So the way we work is we've identified four different types of verticals, and this has come over the course of all the years of experience that we've had, right?
Okay.
And so we have a creator tier. So creator tier starts at, you know, $9.99. So that's an individual that, you know, gamer or someone that's starting out, right, that really has an invested interest of the content they're creating. They can opt up and be in the creator tier, which starts at $9.99 a month. And obviously there's a break if you buy it for annual subscription.
Right.
Then you move up to the next tier, which is producer. Now the cool thing about producer is we're actually taking what we've learned, and we're going through a rebuild. So the product that you saw that you were using now is Joycaster. The new iteration, that's going to be Switchboard Cloud, which will really be the launch of our new producer product. And you know, we don't have enough time to go through all the cool features that we're going to offer there, but that and what you're using is starting at $149 a month. And then there's a break, obviously, depending on if you purchase annually. And then the next tier is brand. So brand is when we work with bigger entities that say, hey, we want to do live streaming, we want to do this and that. And we're working with them sometimes in a consultative manner, but then also helping the marketing team understand how they can, you know, effectively syndicate live content and bring in all these channels. Because like, you know, a lot of people, you know, they're thinking, you know, myopic, where I stream to one platform,
sure,
everyone comes here and watch. And so what we're doing, is a little different, right? I mean, and so but if you could think about it now, you know, just Tumblr the other day made mention of being able to do this. People are embracing and they want to support these platforms, Facebook Live and YouTube and YouNow and so forth. So the pendulum is shifting a heck of a lot, which is great for us. And I get sidetracked again. And then lastly, developer. A developer product is really for two ways. One, you want to leverage our Switchboard product, all the cool tech that we built. You can now integrate it into your platform, or you are building an app or a platform, and you don't want to have to deal with the ingestion, the managing of servers, the syndication, all of that. So you can build your platform and through a couple API commands, fire off, ingest video, syndicate it all out, and leverage our platform. So those are the different ways that we we see people accessing Switchboard Cloud either through our dashboard or through API.
Rudy, is that your phone I hear ringing in the background? I think it's Google calling.
I hope so. Well, yeah, we're all matter of time, right?
Yep. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. And hey, folks, you guys are going to be able to say, we knew this guy when. You know, we knew him when he couldn't even control the lights in his office, you know, back in those days.
I apologize for this. Yeah,
I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, we got some questions here in the chat. And I think you've already answered this, but let me ask it again. If you publish the video on another YouTube channel, does it record the video on their channel as well?
So yes and no. So you have the ability to flag an event, whether it's private or unlisted. So as long as that event is flagged that way, the same YouTube advanced settings carry over.
Okay.
I believe right now, by default, we can flag it to go as an unlisted VOD. But yes, it will. You do have the ability for it to go to their channel and be recorded on their channel.
Okay.
But whether it's a positive or negative, I'm not sure, right?
Sure. Right. No, I understand. And yeah, it could be both ways. And the metrics for the viewership flow to that channel as well then. So if for example, I pick up, if you say, Tom, I want to stream on your channel, and I say, sure, and there are 100,000 people that come to my channel, not that they ever would, but anyway, those metrics stay with me. They don't go back to you.
So the metrics would go to the other channel. Well, let's take a step back. So the viewership, yes, that second channel will have viewership as well. But excuse me, at the end of the event, we can actually pull a report so that for your published event, you're able to aggregate the viewership across all the channels you syndicated to. So say, for example, you were sending to 4 different YouTube channels. They all had 100 views. So those views would also roll up into your channel plus their 400 as well.
Wow.
Makes sense? Did I answer it?
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's kind of a win-win for sure.
Yeah, and that definitely is the point, right? You kind of want to empower them to be able to go out and promote on your behalf, right? And so for you, your main goal is putting the content in the hands of people that really have a vested interest in what you're producing.
Right. All right. So Tommy in Reeltown, Alabama, wants to take my show on syndication and put it in his YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Does he have to have an account with Joycaster to do that?
No, he just needs.
I need to have one.
You need to have one, and you need to send Tommy a request to push to his channel, and for however long. And then once Tommy goes to that wizard that we just went through, then you can have the ability to send to Tommy's channel, and you can even charge Tommy a licensing fee.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Think about that, right?
Or in Tommy's case, I'd probably have to pay him something.
Or yeah, if Tommy has a huge following, yeah, you're absolutely right. So those are the opportunities where you can begin to start thinking about the value of this.
Eric in the chat room has gotten so excited. He has violated our language policies. He's over there cussing, but he apologized for it. So we'll let him.
I'm not even looking at the chat. I apologize. I closed the window by accident.
No. Sorry. Okay, so I think we're getting some good questions. Folks, we are to that point where you need to ask some questions. Looking back through here to see. Okay, here's an interesting question. And this is kind of a switchboard look into the future. What challenges are you facing right now with switchboard?
Challenges? Well, with any business is obviously customers, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting the right customers on board. And I would say from internally as a new business is identifying priorities, right? So we'll get asked for different features and I guess feature requests and things to be changed. Right. And so for us, we have to make sure that, hey, if this 2 weeks, yes, exactly. This 2 weeks of development, is it worth it for not just maybe this one customer, for an array of customers. So for us as a business, as a young company, it's being able to, synthesize and identify and juggle, the different requests. I think that's probably the biggest challenge. And then obviously is, marketing and execution. I'd say it's probably the biggest thing as well. We want people to know about this cool product because, we spent a lot of time in developing it, and we want to make sure that it's in the right hands, which I think this is a great start as well.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Okay. Eric is re-asking a question because I think he was confused over the answer. So we're going to ask it again. And he says, after a live stream is over, if the viewers of the other channel watch the video, will those views roll up on the sender's, the creator's account as well? I guess this would be video on demand.
No. So for example, if you were streaming at Tommy's channel, Tommy would have, 50 viewers, but your broadcast, meaning, so you would do what we have kind of like this post-event audience impact report. You would request a report that could show how many viewers on the channels that you syndicated to. So you, meaning Tom, you would have the ability to see that, but Tommy would also have just the viewers on his particular channel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. All right. All right. And Rich wants to know, what are the limitations? Rich, narrow that question down a little bit because there are all sorts of possibilities on that one. Tommy says he has 3.2 followers on his YouTube channel, so I could probably get his channel pretty cheap.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, well, you never know. All right, so Eric is saying, so the metrics roll up during the live event, not after, and I think that's the correct way to look at it. Yeah. Rich is asking, are there, and I can answer this question, are there technical challenges? Yes. I'm sure you guys are writing code, 24/7 just to stay.
Yeah, well, not me. I'm not a coder at all. So yeah, we have guys that do that. The team between Josh, Jason, and Matt. Those guys are the coders. But yeah, there's technical challenges. Obviously, a lot of the platforms, making sure we can integrate. But the cool thing is, we've done a good deal of the integration with these platforms. So they're pretty much, the same, so to speak. They're all using the same protocols. They're all, at least from an ingestion standpoint. But what we're doing is our goal is to make it easy for you to have simplified workflows. So, so for example, like when Tom was mentioning going to the cast at 1 bit rate at 720 and then 180, is we're enabling the ability for live transcoding. So that could be a big, technical challenge in its entity. But our goal is to say, hey, you know what, if you have this, 1080p stream coming in, we enable you per destination to select the transcode. So think of a technical challenge and making it really easy part of the workflow. So that's so yeah, you're absolutely right. There'll definitely be technical challenges, but because we've been in the space long enough, I think we have a good understanding of requirements and understanding workflows, and we want to really, really simplify that.
Cool.
Because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Definitely is. There's a lot going on. Being able to ingest video, create the event, publish the event, grab data, handshake, alert you guys of issues. And one cool thing we didn't even mention is this is really used a lot with gamers or anyone that has a big audience is our chat relay system. So if you're streaming to multiple YouTube channels or Twitch channels, you have the ability to aggregate all the chats into one view. So just like how I can tell you're glancing at the dashboard every now and then, you could see the chats in that one viewer. So you as a broadcaster can now, verbally answer them back versus imagine having all these YouTube channels, you would have all these chat windows. There's no way you can manage that.
Right.
Again, taking, a technical, limitation or issue and trying to simplify it. And so that's where our chat system comes into play, and it's used a heck of a lot.
I bet. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, I can see the chat's filling up with questions. Let's take one more, and then we're going to have to close out because we've gone way over time. And I promised I was going to be really particular with your time, and you've given me way more than
No, no
I should.
worries. Yeah, I didn't realize it was 3:47 either.
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. Here is my favorite question, Tom. Where can I send the check? So I'll answer that question directly. Don't worry about that. Chris is asking, are you using a standard API to integrate with the different CDNs, or do you have a special arrangement with each one?
For my knowledge, good. I'm not a developer. It's a lot of the platforms, they do have APIs. Some of them, there is a requirement from a relationship standpoint to get some deeper access. So for example, we have had discussions with YouTube. We've talked to guys, at, Snappy TV or Twitter, what have you. So having the ability for us to talk to these platforms because of the relationships does help out a lot. But we start with their standard API, correct? But then if we want to get, more granular, we typically have those relationships as well.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
The more data, the more tie-ins that we can provide to the users, it's key. And honestly, we've been embraced because we're enabling content that would not exist on these platforms to exist.
Yep.
So that's where we're able to really come in and not be a threat. We're not an encoder, nor are we a destination. We sit right in the middle.
Right. And you guys are actually going to help them be more successful. Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's
exactly.
a win.
That's the goal.
That's a win. That's great. Well, that's a good way to end this out. Rudy, I hope you'll hold over with us just a few minutes for the post show, but we've got to wrap up this part. Folks, I tell you what, it has been a real treat to have Rudy on the show with us today. And maybe, Rudy, you'll come back again at some point in the future.
Or maybe we'll have another team member come in if you want to take or another technical deeper dive. We definitely love to do that.
Yep, that would be great. That would be great. Okay, folks. So we're going to wrap up this section right now. If you're watching live, hang out for a little bit because Rudy's going to stay over and answer a few questions. And I can see there's some great questions here. So really appreciate you tuning in. Full disclosure, of course, I'm a vMix reseller, a VidBlaster reseller. I resell for Magwell and for PTZ Optics, and I design and build custom PCs for streaming. So if there's anything in this show that appeared to be an advertisement for that, it probably was. So subscribe to us on YouTube. By all means, go to switchboard.live and check out what Rudy's got cooking. And then we'll catch you again next week when our guest is going to be Stephen Haywood with the Tech Buzz. So we'll catch you then. Y'all take care. Okay, I think we got things here. Let's see. Let's bring back Rudy. There he is. All right. Rudy, great show. Thank you so much.
Well, it was fun. I appreciate it. It was good. I know sometimes I ramble, but I appreciate it.
No, that was good stuff. And I used to call it rambling, and now I call it fleshing out. Because it really does add some of the details that provide some of the richness of the experience that you guys have been going with, not one, not two, but three different accelerators, a 2-month stint in a different state, heck, a different part of the country. And,
that was interesting.
That's now part of your company's culture and its history. And, you can point back just like, the Israelites could to their time in the wilderness and say, we wandered around for 40 years in the desert. And you can say, we were in the desert in Texas for 3 months.
Literally, we were,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. I mean, we learned a lot. It was a crash course, and
Uh-huh.
it's a good network. We were around 10 other companies that were in the same boat as us, who are, looking to take their company from this point to that point.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very, very good experience. I'm glad we went through it.
Okay, got some great questions in the chat, and I'll try to read them through. And if you want to bring the chat back up
Actually,
again,
yeah, let me do the same thing. Hang on, I have a couple
help.
tabs.
And John is asking, is it possible to make an open invitation and have anyone pick up your live stream and put it wherever they want?
No, that's actually a good thing. I didn't think about that. Right now, no. That's actually interesting. That's something. Let me write that down. I like
John,
that. That's a good feature request there. An open invitation.
John's going to want a percentage on that one, I think. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah, I think
goodness.
I think one of the guys are watching it too. Hopefully, they're watching it as well. And plus, we have the archive too. Open
Right.
invitation,
Right.
stream share. I like that. Thank you, John.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it would have to work a whole different way, but yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be basically you have a show and it's publicly accessible, and then they would, yeah, I guess someone kind of grab the invite to it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, there are all sorts of possibilities with that. My brain is just exploding, as we say. Eric wants to interview you on his show.
Okay. I don't know. Is Eric? It's kind of in similar capacity. What's
Well, I don't. Eric, which Eric are you? Eric's going to tell us some more in just a minute. Let's
Excuse me.
see.
But yeah, I mean, Eric, if you want, my email is rudy@switchboard.live.
There you go.
Just shoot me an email. We could definitely set up a time to chat.
There we go. Now, have you guys had any success with the vMix guys in getting Joycaster added?
Yeah. So so one of our other guys in the team, Jason's been working with those guys.
Okay.
We had a bit of traveling. We were at Infocom, and then we went from Infocom to E3. So yeah, I think we were out on the West Coast for close to 7, 8 days. So we were catching up with some stuff this week, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, I do know that. And then there was a couple emails going through, but they were really excited about what we're building, and it was very, very well received, which we're looking forward to adding support for them as well, which should be pretty straightforward.
It should be. Yeah. Yeah. And it should be on their end too. Yeah. That's cool. So are you guys going to IBC in September?
I'm not sure.
Draw
Do
breath.
you think that's a good show? I mean, so some of the things we're also learning are the right shows for us to be at, right?
Sure.
So there definitely is a market for kind of the blogger, the podcaster, somewhat a creator. That's
Right.
That's what we deem you guys in this space that we're really passionate about, right? And then there's also on the marketing side, right? So we work with a lot of the entities where they have events, and being able to work with them to understand what they could do with the ability to have their content co-promoted with their sponsors or partners that are part of their conferences, and coming in and being the tech deployment that can do that, right? Versus having rack and stack a bunch of gears or a satellite truck, so those are some of the things like event tech or experiential marketing. So those are some of the conferences that we're thinking about as well. But
Gotcha.
but you said IBC, that may be something we'll take note of as well.
Now, were y'all at NAB as a exhibitor?
We were at NAB.
How did I miss you? Oh my goodness.
We were in the Sprocket Hub. So the Sprocket Hub is where they pick 20 to 30 companies per year, and the start of it is at NAB.
Right.
So we were other companies, kind of I guess startup companies, 2-3 years in existence, and it was a great opportunity for us to have people that wanted to just kind of come to the pavilion and learn about what we're doing.
Right.
And also NAB is a sponsor or partner with the Sprocket.
Right.
Sprocket program. And so
I
we were there.
walked right through there.
Yeah, the red floor, the red carpet.
Yeah, were you guys there as Joycaster or Switchboard?
Switchboard. You were there,
Okay.
switchboard.
You weren't on
Yeah,
my radar as Switchboard at that point. That's why.
yeah, yeah. So what?
I probably walked right by you.
You probably did.
I said,
Well,
well,
you
this guy
know,
needs to get out of my way.
so that's part of what we're doing. If you go to joycaster.co right now, you see
Right.
the site, right? We're working on that, and making sure that people understand. Joycaster was the company name, it was the product, but now we're working on the migration to really to grow up and switch, pun intended, to Switchboard.
I never asked you about Joycaster. I'm so sorry. Where the name came from.
Oh, no worries, no worries. So, the idea of Joycaster was for anyone that is a creator, right, to be able to cast or spread their joy. And so that's where the joy element came in. But the actual spelling of it, Joi, is actually my daughter's middle name. So her first name is Kayla, Joy's her middle name, and last name is Ellis. So for me, that was a big deal of coming up with a product that really hit home.
Well, and I can tell by the reaction in the chat room. I don't know that it's joy, but it's amazement.
Well, I like it. Yeah. I mean, I guess I thought this would be, the standard for you, but if not, I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the questions, and you guys have my email address, and I'm sure Tom, people can follow up if they have any questions, either email or Twitter. And, I encourage anyone that's doing live stream, sign up for an account. We have a free 30-day trial, and we also have a free account. So if you just want to stream to 3 destinations, feel free to do that. You can definitely do that without a problem right now. And it's a good way to understand it and see what we're doing. And then if there's a need to grow up or mature or add more, you have the ability to do that as well.
All right. Well, one last question. I'm gonna let you go because you've been really great about this. And this is a question from Eric, the one that was cussing before. We got to make sure you understand that. It says, "Can you, in theory or in reality, can you connect to 1,000 YouTube channels?"
In theory, yeah. I mean, because we're not a physical limitation of hardware. I mean, we're in the cloud. We have a robust, redundant network. So to answer your question, yes. In theory, you could take over YouTube's live section and have your content everywhere if there's a need for that. And we haven't come close. We've had events where there were, for the streamies, for example, they had 10 different YouTube channels, and that was seen by over 500,000 viewers. So
right.
that was a good amount of channels. But yes, to answer your question, in theory, you could definitely go to 1,000 destinations on YouTube if there's a need for that.
Wow. All right. Well, we don't want to abuse this guy, or else he'll never come back. So.
No, not a problem. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, you've been a champ. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of the guys in the chat room, because I'm sure they would say so, we really wish you best. We wish you the best. We wish your company well.
Thank you.
It's
been an awesome experience, and we as a team, we're learning as we're growing, and that's our goal, is to keep on. So if there's any feedback, again, sign up for an account. We'd love to have that, feedback from the users, because that's key. What's the sense of making a product if we're not making it for the right people?
Now, can we follow you on Twitter or Instagram
So our company, Switchboard @Switchboard Live is our Twitter handle.
Okay.
My personal is @RudyJEllis. I'm an interesting Twitter follower, or tweeter rather. I tweet a lot about just the industry. Every now and then some personal stuff, but yeah, every now and then I'll throw something funny out there. And our website is switchboard.live. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. And we're actually working on, I'm surprised this hasn't come up, Facebook integration too. So Facebook Live will be a destination as well.
Yes, that should have come up.
I'm surprised I didn't. So we're working on that. So any moment that should be an option in our destination list as well. Great.
Well, Rudy, thank you. And I see a bunch of folks in the chat room are saying nice things about you. So, I don't know what's wrong with them, but that's all right. So, But we will catch you. We'll catch you again in the future. I'll send you another invite, and
Okay.
if you've got something that's going on that you want to say, Tom, let me come on the show and talk about it, or get some feedback from your guys. That's an open invitation too.
I think probably once producer launches, that would be huge because it's going to be literally a rewrite. So we built the developer API, so we're eating our own dog food in a sense. So we're building a new version on top of our own API. So we have some great things that's going to be in place, and that's going to be in beta later this month. So it's a good opportunity to come on, show you guys, and get people signed up for the beta as well.
Got it. Cool.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks again, Tom. Thanks, chat room. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Great, Rudy. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right. There he was. Tell you what. You can say I knew him when. I mean, for Rudy, not for me. Oh, that was great. That was great. So Facebook Live is coming. And that's good stuff. Wasn't that fun? It's his company is still young enough and small enough that that he's still experiencing the joy in it, and hadn't beaten him up so bad that he just is just going through the motions. He didn't look stressed. He looked relaxed. Now maybe his coders are pulling their hair out, but that was a real treat. So your homework is to figure out some ways that you could do this with what you're doing. How many different CDNs can you take advantage of that are likely to be increasing your viewership? How many of you guys want to get together in a pool and begin using each other's YouTube accounts to stream to when they're not using them? For example, if it's not a pay-per-view event, but if somebody's got an event and they want to use my channel to stream on, hey, that'd be great. Have at it. It's certainly not gonna hurt me. It's gonna help me, and maybe some of you guys could do the same for me. I mean, Tommy's got 3.2 subscribers, and that would about double my subscriber base. So I'll stream to his channel if he'd have me, of course. If the licensing fee wasn't too high. This is my favorite comment from John. It says, it's been a blast and much more interesting than I actually expected. Much more interesting than his regular shows where it's just him talking. Oh, John, you tear me up. That's good. Although you threw him a good one. I think he liked that idea. That may be something that you see them bringing out in a couple of months. That's too funny. And you guys are talking amongst yourselves again. I can see you don't care about me. That's all right. One of these days, I'll be gone and you'll be wishing I was still around. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I stopped the recording at the end of the show, but then I started it back up again for the post show. I guess I didn't need to do that because YouTube has got the whole thing in it. Mike knew Rudy when they were working together at New Line. That's cool. Good choice and guess. Well, Dave, you got to thank Mike for that, because Mike was the one that suggested Rudy and then followed up 2 times at least to make sure that I had tracked him down. So that was good. That was fun. That was fun. He's a good interview. And he seems like a nice guy. He brought his kids to work. What's not to love about that? All right. Rich said last week he broadcasted to Ustream, YouTube, and Facebook Live. There you go. Well, Rich, I'd love to syndicate your show to my channel. I think that would be a ton of fun. Um, I mean, I think there's something there. I think there's something there. You never know where this stuff is going to end up, and if you can be on the front end of the wave, at least you'll have a great ride. You may not get anything substantial out of it, but it'll be a lot of fun and exciting. Let's see who popped in when we were chatting. We got Tommy House. Guest 180, welcome. Glad to have you. We got Jens is here. And Rudy. And Eric. And all right, Tommy, we'll see you. Take care, my friend. All right, Rich said last weekend he streamed simultaneously on Facebook, YouTube, and Ustream, and a majority of the viewers switched to Facebook to watch the content. Interesting. I haven't done a live stream to Facebook yet, but I did upload a video the other day, and I was disappointed in the quality of it. I mean, I uploaded 720, and it seemed like it came out at 240. I haven't looked at it since then. Maybe they've fixed it. Is my audio even working? Yeah, Tommy. John L. says there's actually another way to make sponsored content. Each of several sponsors can send the stream out in their own name on their own channel. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that is it. Good night, Chris. Thanks for staying up with us. Good stuff. I'm kind of talked out, even though I didn't talk nearly as much, but it was just fascinating to listen and to try to soak it all in and make sense of it. Some of it went by me a little quickly. I need to go back and take another look at it. And here I was, this morning it was like, okay, we're going to do a show. We're going to have Rudy on the show. And we're going to, oh, that's right. We're going to restream to all these different places. I got to figure out how to do this. Oh, my goodness. And I was amazed. It was pretty intuitive. It wasn't perfectly intuitive, but it was, what I would call second choice intuitive. First thing didn't work, second thing did. So it was easy to set up. Never did get the second to cast channel working. Not sure on that. Rich says, I think you should syndicate your show to thousands. Yeah. The only thousands I would get would be at the Alabama State Prison System where they couldn't get away. And they would not be interested. The thing dinging in the background apparently is a, is a chime built into Switchboard Live whenever somebody tunes into the channel. Now, I don't think it works with the decast streams. Yeah, there it is again. And so it tells me that we've got 19 folks watching on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, one person watching on Rudy's YouTube channel, and then the decast channels don't have counters. It probably isn't in their API. Well, and I didn't think decast is not even on their list, so there's not even an API. It's just I just put in the decast codes. Okay, let's see. Jens says the audio's fine. Thank you. It's a little late for me to be checking audio. Martin Esch, leading edge application sourcing. Leash. Oh, leash. I get it. Leading edge application sourcing hub does it again. There we go. Woo! Oh, that was fun. I agree, Tommy. So many possibilities. Dave, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. It's one of those things where, I mean, obviously, John in particular gave Rudy an idea today that that hadn't crossed their minds. Or if it had, it didn't stay very long. Yep, we're up to 20. Tommy says, if you want to experiment with my 3.2 viewers, let me know. Well, dude, there's I'm, it's going to, triple my viewer count. Well, not triple, but, it would be add another 15%. So I'll take it. It would be fun to do, Tommy, as a real life exercise to see how it works. I mean, obviously I did it with Rudy's channel today, but, we don't have access to the stats on his channel, so we don't know how many people watched and for how long and, all that kind of stuff that you can get it. And John says his channel's available too. So if he's got another 3.2, that's 6.4. We're getting up there. And Merle says his channel too. All right. I'm loving it. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? That'd be fun. I tell you what, you guys, if you're interested, shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com, and we'll try to do something for next week, because we got Stephen Haywood on next week. Bless his heart, I called him Stephen Haywood. Haygood. I knew a Haygood, so getting the wood part. Wood. That's how I'll get it. So we'll try to do something next week and see if we can't get Stephen broadcast on a bunch of different channels. In fact, I might even see if he'll let me broadcast on his own channel. Hey, there's a thought. There's a thought. He might like that. And so if you've got a guest on your show and the guest has their own YouTube channel, this would be a way for them to have their viewers see them on their channel, and they could watch it later if they wanted to, because it would be recorded on their channel. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, a hat tip to Mike for making this happen, because Mike was part of the process that said, hey, Tom, let's get Rudy on there. Enough of this fiddle farting around. And let's see, hold on, I want to do something right here. That's what I wanted to do with that. And one more thing. There we go. It makes me look like I'm sitting up straight, when really I'm slouching. All right, so you guys interested in next week, send me an email and expect to get an email from me. And we may need to test this. Testing. we definitely should test this. So I'll get all your emails together and we'll set up a test time, maybe over the weekend or something. Okay, let's see. Next week, Haywood. What are we going to do with Haywood? You guys are going to have to be nice to him or he won't come back. Y'all were pretty nice to Rudy, but I think it was just because he dazzled you. Y'all were seeing stars. Testing is so last year. Yes, it is. Oh, but I tell you what, reading through the different forums, I'll read the New Tech forum and the vMix forum and the VidBlaster forum and the Wirecast forum and some others. And inevitably there's somebody that comes on there that says, let me tell you about my experience. Went to stream and it didn't work. And, was it the new software I installed or the new hardware I installed or the Windows update that happened right before I did my show? And, I'm thinking, dude, you got to watch my show and see why you don't do this stuff, because this is the bad stuff that happens when you don't do things the right way, when you don't test, when you don't have maybe not redundant equipment, but at least a fallback plan. I mean, I can remember, golly, like '08, '09, something like that, doing a weekend long soccer tournament down at the Gulf of Mexico. And it must have been it was either a Friday night that we did it and came back Saturday, or we streamed all day Saturday and came back Sunday. But anyway, I made the mistake of leaving my PC in the press box. Now the press box was locked up, no problem. But it was summertime, and the air conditioner was I don't remember whether it was cranked way low or whether they turned it off. But anyway, it got real. Well, they must have left the AC on because my equipment got cold. And when we opened up in the morning, everybody coming in and out, all the moist air came in and condensed inside the PC, and it wouldn't turn on. Fortunately, I had a laptop with me, my good old dual core laptop, and was able to, get one camera working and a feed through Wi-Fi. But I think it was probably after lunch, whatever day that was, Saturday or Sunday. It was after lunch before the main PC would come on, before it dried out enough to turn on. So I tease all the time about it, but you do need to have a backup plan. I mean, I've got a backup plan here, and I've got other plans in force just to make sure, in areas that I don't need to have a backup plan. For example, fortunately, this building is on a backup generator, which will kick in 17 seconds after a power outage. And I've got, those little battery backup thingies on the PCs and the monitors, and on the modem and the network switch. And so if the power goes out here, those batteries I think they'll hold for 2 minutes, but I only need 17 seconds before the generator kicks back in. So, I feel really good about that. But, if my production PC were to go down, I've got 2 or 3 other PCs that I could put into service pretty quickly. Not the same capacity. Not to say that we're going to be able to just unplug one and plug in another, because they would be stepped down. They wouldn't be as good, but it's there. And I do encourage you guys to sort of think through the same thing. What happens if a certain piece of equipment stops working? What happens if my microphone stops working, or something like that? What am I going to do? Do I have a backup plan? All right, let's see. Rich says, I don't want to be a downer. How about getting the Restreamer.io guy interviewed too? Well, we could do that. You know him. I don't know it's the only reason we got Rudy here, but the reason we got Rudy here is because Mike used to work with him at New Line. So that was our connection there. So if anybody knows the Restreamer.io guy, or if you guys know other folks in the industry that you think kind of might fit with this show, certainly we'll take a look for sure. Henri is here. I just like saying Henri. All right. Whew. Good stuff. All right. Blaze says his channel is available too. Great. Thank you. Love to use it. Shoot me an email. Tommy says he misses the yellow polo. I still have it. I might bring it out for old time's sake. Richard says, what's the URL for Restreamer.io? Oh, Eric, you are too much. That is just too funny. That's the best one I've heard today. Oh, I got it. That's like, the guy that says, I'd call 911, but I don't know the number. Oh, goodness. Too funny, you guys. There you go. Thank you, Rich. Rich is like, okay, I guess I have to write it. Yep. There you go. That's my contribution to chat. Oh yeah, it was. You're right. It was the wrong URL. I didn't even catch that. That's good, Eric. It is restream.io, not restreamer.io. Although, um, it would certainly be the kind of thing if I was restream.io and I thought people might be going to restreamer.io, I'd spend, $12 a year and get that and just forward it over for sure. I just sit here grinning because it was a good interview and it was a fun show. And we may just have to pull the plug. Yeah, thank you, Rich. Eric just bought it. Oh, I remember there was a product that came out, I guess last year maybe, called Live Wedge. And I don't know if it ever made it or not, and I don't even remember now what it did. But I went to livewedge.com and it was available. So I bought it. And I figured if these guys ever want it, they're going to come to me and they'll ask for it. And I'll say, sure, I'll give it to you. But, the Rambler needs a new set of tires. So if you have to ask what a Rambler is. Yep, that's okay. Well, folks, let's fold our tents for the day, shall we? And those of you that are across the pond, you can pack up and head to bed. And those of you that got up at 5 in the morning to watch us from Australia, you can go back to bed for a little while. And the rest of you can go back to work. I did know that somebody got Google.com. Isn't that hilarious? And there was somebody else recently that I knew of. Was it Donald Trump that lost his website, Trump.com or something like that, for a little while, had to buy it back? All right. Man buys Google domain for $12 for 1 minute, gets reward, goes to charity. Oh, that's good. That's cool. Interesting article. Okay. Eric, if you hook up with Rich and you do something on a show, I'm sure we would love to know about it. Martin S., yes. I have an answer. And I was instructing you. Can I show you real quick? I bet I can show you right now. Let's see. Hang on a second. Oh no, I can't because I don't have my Behringer hooked up. But let's get up and do another session. I will send you an email. Thank you, Giles. Eric was going to invite us all. Okay. Very good. And if you guys want to use the chat room here to post announcements of shows that you know are coming up, I'll leave this exact chat up until next Wednesday morning. So feel free to use it as a bulletin board if you want to. And I tend to do the same thing. So, with no further ado, I will bid you farewell and best wishes until next week. Later. And one of my favorite things to do is to use my phone to stop streaming. Although some of you guys may be delayed. You could be delayed as much as a minute. And if I hit the stop streaming button right now, everything stops. So I'm going to simply go over to, I'll just leave this up for another couple minutes and then I'll kill the stream. So you guys have fun. I will catch you later. And I got to go back to work. So later, guys.